Okay, so I get to here. Okay, so we're gonna solve linear equation first. Linear equation, so there's equation and inequality. And what kind of solution are they? And you have to know all that. So this is all gonna help you on SAT. So let's just kind of review. So I'm gonna start by solving a linear equation. So let's say, I'm gonna give you a tricky one. I'm not gonna give you a simple one. So 3 minus 5, x minus 2 times equal to 4 minus 3x. I wanna solve this linear equation. A lot of people is going to make mistake here, and hopefully you're not going to make mistake. And hopefully you know where I'm talking about mistake can happen. That's just a linear equation. I'm going to assume you already know this, so hopefully you already know this. But if you didn't know, you should try it. So you write down try, and if you didn't get the same answer as me, then you're going to write down what I do. We're solving for x. So this is the first time we're solving for x. Before we all like expression, right? Yeah. We deal with strictly expression, we just simplify expression, we're never solving anything. This is the first time I give you things with the equal sign. We finish all the expression, now we're gonna go through all the equation. How many equations are there? I'm gonna tell you. We got linear equation and inequality. So that's the first part. Second part, we're going to talk about absolute value equation. And this one is on SAT. And then inequality. Quadratic. Okay, quadratic. Rational. Rational equation. Radical equation, rational exponent, those are equation, and we got inequality 7. We're going to talk about quadratic inequality. So all those are algebra 1. Except the last one is actually algebra 2 and pre-calc. It's called quadratic inequality, but those of you guys still have not learned yet. But I'm going to teach you. What you guys get for answer? I bet a lot of people answer is different. 2. Answer is what? 2. What is the answer? 2? What else? What other answer you have?
I got 9/2.
9/2? 9/2? 9/2? Anybody else have a different answer? I will tell you, if you do 3 minus 5, you did it wrong already. Who did 3 minus 5? You did? Okay, so that's good. So you cannot do 3 minus 5 because the order operation says parenthesis exponents. And parenthesis, there's no exponent here, so parenthesis is going to be right here. So parenthesis is going to be x minus 2, but the next order operation is what? Multiplication. So multiplication is going to be here, and you're going to distribute. So it's going to be 3 minus 5x plus 10 is equal to 4 minus 3x. So now I'm going to simplify this. So I'm going to say that's going to be minus 5x plus 13. That's equal to 4 minus 3x. Now I prefer my x to be positive. That's what I always prefer. I can add 3x on both sides, or I can add 5x on both sides. So I'm going to add 5x on both sides because that way I have x is positive. Then I don't have to do anything other than that. So 4 minus 13, so it's going to be what? 9 equal to 2x, and the x is equal to 9 over 2. Now, this is just one answer, but what happened is we talked about linear equation, and we also talk about linear inequality. But we're going to talk about second type of equation, still linear, but it looks a lot more complicated, but I'm going to show you a shorter way to do it. So if I have 3 times x plus 4 minus 4, and I'm going to change it to inequality on this one. So that says 2x minus 5 greater than 6. Now, I don't want you to do this one because a lot of you guys combine these common denominator. There's a way to do it without doing that. Okay? So what I do is I make sure there's a parenthesis for this. I'm going to show you a quick way to do these questions. A lot of time, like you understand math, there is a quicker way to do this problem. You can combine these common denominator in this case. I know what people tend to do, but I have another way to get rid of all at the same time because I hate fraction just as much as you hate fraction. So if I hate fraction, I just need to use math to get rid of fraction all at the same time. So I'm going to do is that, and this apply with the rational. It apply with the rational equation as well. Okay, so it turns out whatever we're solving, we can solve it rational way. So we're going to show you what's the best way. So I'm going to take the LCD. What's the LCD in this case? 12. But I don't want to combine these common denominator. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this by 12. So 12 is going to distribute it here, distribute it here. Don't forget about distribute the last one. So now 12 and 12 do not distribute inside. 12 just write it right next to it. Okay? So technically this is what happened. I can actually do it all in one step. So 12 be next to it, but 12 and 3 can simplify. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's going to be 4 times x minus 4. And 12 and 4 can simplify minus 3, and that's why that parenthesis comes in handy because that's going to distribute. And 12 and 6 going to be what? 72. Boom. No more fractions. In one step. I'm going to show you what happened beforehand, but I usually go step from here to here. But beforehand it's like this. So this is going to be 4, this is going to be 3, that's how I write up. No more fraction. This is a very powerful tool. And this is a very good tool to solving number 4, rational equation. So now I'm going to solve for this. I'm going to get 4x minus 16. Are we okay here? Minus 6x plus 15 greater than 72. And I'm going to solve for it. It's going to give you negative 2x minus 1 greater than 72. Minus 2x. I'm going to plus 1 on both sides, right? So I'm going to get what? Greater than 73. Now what do I do next? Gabriel?
You divide both parts by negative 2, and since it's negative, you would have to reverse the sign.
Flip the inequality sign. Don't forget, right? So don't forget, if I divide or multiply by a negative sign, the inequality sign is gonna flip. There's only the difference between this one and this one because it will flip the sign when you divide or multiply by negative. So if I do that, I'm gonna get x, right, less than 73 over negative 2, or negative 73 over 2. But does that mean one number? Or that means what? How many number are they? there actually means infinite amount of number. Because if you graph it this, if I graph it, so those are graphic solutions. Graphic solutions. It's gonna be 0 here, and I hear it's gonna be negative 73/2. It doesn't have to be in scale. I really don't care about what kind of scale you have. Just it's left side. As long as you don't put it here, you're okay. So negative is a negative number. Now is this open circle or closed circle?
It's a closed circle because
It's a closed circle because it's included, right? So you need to fill in the circle. If it's without a bar, then that's gonna be this side. So this side is gonna be less than. Not yet, not done yet. There's interval notation. So it'll be negative infinity to infinity. Your interval notation is gonna be negative infinity to negative 73/2, and this is a bracket. The bracket that means can equal to, so your solution could be both. So your homework is gonna be on this. Just linears. We haven't get into absolute. We're gonna get to absolute and quadratic next. So we're gonna go through, spend 4 days on this, and we're gonna have a test.